Alright, so boom, wagwan, bro, or brevet. Now, Murphy's Law famously holds that whatever can go wrong will go wrong if given the chance. The idea essentially is that if it's possible for something to go wrong, it will go wrong, and at the worst possible situation. For example, traffic is usually good, but the day of your interview, all of a sudden, it's the worst. But if you plan ahead of the time, you will never have to get ready, or will never put yourself in a situation. And oddly enough, Murphy's Law is an incredible planning tool. Now I got a little financial video that I'm going to be reacting to. It's called How Much Money Should You Save? Amount by Age by Andrei Jikh. Now we know for the most part, savings are just having any type of savings just gives you a little bit of a breathing room from Murphy's Law, or in general when things come up, right? Car breaks down, house payment, whatever it is. Having Murphy's Law at the back of your brain and saving and also doing other things with your finances just gives you a sense of comfort, a sense of relief. So we're gonna get into it and we'll see what he has to say. All right, let's tap in.
Everybody knows that it is never polite to talk about money in public, and under no circumstances should you ever ask somebody how old they are. So, how much money do you have at your current age? This is why I love YouTube, because there are no consequences. I mean, other than your public reputation, your sanity, your well-being, and your mental health, but who needs those anyway? So today we're going to talk about exactly how much your net worth should be at your current age, and how much money you should have saved up by now and beyond. It's an interesting question to think about and compare, isn't it? No? Just me? Okay, let's begin. Hey you are awesome. Good morning to you. My name is Andrei Jikh, and I've always been obsessed by money. Not in a greedy, sell my soul kind of a way, but just obsessed with asking people how much they make and how they make it in an effort to understand how money works so that I can be better with it. In fact, I have this $100 bill that I have framed sitting behind me in my bookshelf that I got paid when I used to perform cardistry here in Las Vegas on stage with a comedian by the name of Amazing Jonathan. He signed it, I framed it, put it behind me, and we used to do this act where he would go on stage, he would put his hands behind his back as an assistant would just block him from view. There was a curtain behind him with slits, and I would slide my hands right through the slits, and he would just start to react as I'm doing cardistry, just make it seem like these are his hands. And I would do stuff like this, and people would just look and be like, wow, Amazing Jonathan's been really practicing. He's really good, huh? This is incredible. People really took it seriously for a quick bit. And then I would start to just produce a rose and slowly start to sensually touch him and just go lower and lower. And before you know it, he's like, whoa, Andre, what's going on? And you would see two floating arms. It was a hilarious bit. I would come out on stage, do some cardistry. Anyway, this YouTube channel is kind of documenting my journey to understanding all of this money and investing it and how to manage it. And that's the fun bit. And I'm going to share with you guys.
Now, I think one of the things that you just have to keep in mind is like your own like motivations for what it is that you do, right? Are you trying to be like the family kingpin, like you're trying to be the person that sets your family for life, or you're trying to like live your best life in the meantime? Are you even trying to have kids that you're trying to take care of, right? I think just one pro tip from all my fellas out there is to stay strapped up, okay? Don't knock no girl up, especially if she's crazy. Especially if she's crazy.
You think I care? I don't care anymore!
Quit hitting me.
I've lost my mind!
Quit hitting me.
Give a fuck! Give a fuck!
Cool, you don't need to give a fuck. It's cool, I got video proof of you doing this. You're crazy, bro. You're crazy. Let me leave. You have me blocked in. Let me leave. You're kidnapping me. Let me leave. Leave me alone.
Do not knock a girl up. Stay protected at all times. Like, kids are cute and all, and they're lovable, but essentially they can hold you down if you're trying, especially if you're not at the point in your career that you want to be at, right? Especially if you're not making the kind of money you're trying to be at, you're trying to make. So in some cases, they could help you, you know, give you motivation to continue working. But in other cases, they could be a responsibility that kind of holds you back a little bit. So just something to keep in mind.
My net worth and my age, which you have guessed to be anywhere between my mid-20s and to my mid-50s. It's just hilarious. Gotta love the internet. But pro tip, if you're ever out and about and you want to fish for compliments, then just tell people your age, casually bring it up, but add 15 years to it. I would say, yeah, I'm 45. Like, really, you're 45? You look so good for 45. Wow. Because if I tell them my real age, which is 30, they just look at me like, yeah, wow, I can see it. I'm sure that is not an original idea of mine, but use it. Side effects may include laughter. So when it comes to calculating your entire net worth, first, we're going to do that by adding up all of your entire assets. This includes your investment accounts that you keep in Charles Schwab or Robinhood or wherever it is, your retirement accounts, your 401ks, your HSAs, your IRAs, your home equity if you have any, your valuables, your jewelry, your gold, perhaps your car, and maybe some cash if you have any of these laying around. Guys, cash on cash, mutual funds, dividends, IRAs, Charles Schwab, Robinhood, words that make me sound smarter than I actually am. Any excuse to do magic on this channel, we're gonna do it live. Sorry for that little piece of hair sticking up. I fixed it. The second thing we're going to do is add up all of your liabilities. This includes your student loans, your credit card debts, your mortgage loans, your car loans, anything and everything where you owe money. You're going to add that number up and you're going to subtract it from your assets. And whatever number that is, whether it's positive or negative, that is your net worth. And don't worry if your net worth is negative. We're going to cheer it up later. But statistically speaking, people in their 20s and even early 30s can have a negative net worth because they're oftentimes buying a new home, buying a new car, they're starting families, they owe some money, and as a result, their net worth is negative. So
yeah, one of the things that I did, because I did not want, like, so I got myself in some credit card issues, right? Credit card debt. And I took some drastic measures. I didn't renew my rent and lease, whatever you want to call it, and rather I sleep at my homie's crib, homie's like couch, or I was even sleeping at a homeless shelter, so that I could use all my money towards paying down that shit. I did not want no debt, no like student loan debt. Yeah, I only have about like $2,000 of student loan debt left, but for the most part, bro. They're just sucking money. Once they get you in that like loop, that's why I don't, even right now, to this day.
You're fighting to this day. To this day.
I don't have a credit card. Anytime you have a credit card, even though you get all the bonuses and build your credit report, history, credit score, you spend more. Just in general, you spend more when you use your credit card than when you use a debit card. So my advice essentially would be to only use your credit card when you're paying bills. At least that will build your credit score, but all your consumer debt won't be on your credit card. Like if you go out and you only have $10 in your bank account, that's all you're using. Rather than, oh, I'll pay it off my next like payment or my next like payday, and it'll get there. Yeah.
don't freak out if yours is negative. They looked at the average net worth of a US family and they found that in 2016, the average net worth was $692,100, which is so hard to believe because that same year, they did the same study for a median net worth, which turned out to be $97,300. So a huge difference. Why is that? Well, math is sometimes funny because on average, both males and females have one testicle. See? Averages. Now, when we're looking at Gaussian data, which is a Bell distribution, medians are more accurate. Averages are only more accurate if we're looking at data that has double exponential distribution. Obviously, everybody knows that. Fun random fact of the day. So for this one, we're going to use a median. So your net worth at 20 years old should be $0. That's right. If you have anything above $0, you're doing better than the average 20-year-old. But we want to be a lot better than the average 20-year-old. So here is my challenge to you as a 20-year-old. Go get yourself an IRA or an individual retirement account. It's not something I got myself until I was 30 years old, but I wish I did it when I was 20. My circumstances changed just this year, which is when I contributed my max, which is $6,000. You don't have to put in that much money. You can just get yourself a free account with Webull or M1 Finance and contribute whatever you can. And I promise that is going to grow into a lot of money by the time you're my age. So please get yourself one. And if you want to go the extra mile and get extra credit, then sign up to a brokerage like Webull, fund a $100 account, and you'll get 2 free stocks. Pretty cool. The next milestone is 30. That's my age. And it's insane how low the median value is here compared to the average, because the average net worth here is $76,200. And that number is so skewed by the really wealthy 30-year-olds that it's not an accurate way of looking at this data. The mean, however, is, and the mean net worth for 30-year-olds is actually $11,100. More important.
I think it's 30, that's only like, what is that number? Because by that point, you were either married, you were married at one point and then you got divorced, or you have a housing, you have your house, just you have some debt, there's some consumer debt that you did with your wife, stuff like that, and then that kind of builds up. And then you also have kids, which at least initially they are a liability until they get to, I don't know, like what's funny is that my parents see me as like an investment, right? So at some point, one day, they want to recoup their investment in me and not have to work as much or at all. And I pray to one day to make that investment for them.
Isn't he talented? He is so talented. I am so proud of him.
Right? But like by 30, you have more baggage. I think that's pretty much it. At 20, you're more careless, but then at 20, you have more baggage. So
more importantly, though, by 30, you should have an HSA account if your employer offers it. You should also have a 401k account, which my parents didn't set up until they were in their mid-40s, and I helped set that up for them. And the last thing you should have is a credit score between 700 to 750. If you don't, that's okay. It's never too late to start building, but start on that. And you absolutely do not need to buy a house, or you do not need to be married either. Also, by 30 years old, you should have at least smashed one subscribe button / like button. Now's a great time to do that, but also by 30, you should have saved at least 1 year's worth of your salary. So for example, for me, when I was working in my 20s as a video editor, I was getting paid roughly $50,000 per year. So by 30, I should have had at least 50 grand saved and invested somewhere, which luckily I did. And I did that by saving 50% of my income for 5 years, and I invested it into this free Robinhood brokerage account where I saved $130,000, and in the course of the last 5 years, it's grown to almost $200,000, which shows you the power of compound interest, of saving and investing as early as possible. So by 35, you should have twice your annual income saved and invested, and by 40, 3 times your annual income saved and invested somewhere. Now for me, 50K per year times 3, I would need 150 by 40. Now let's say you just turned 40 and you realize life and you're not happy with your job or your situation or your income. Well, just know this, statistically speaking, you are within $1,000 of the most amount of money that you're going to earn from your current position, unless something drastic changes, like you change jobs or you get some major unforeseen promotion, which usually doesn't happen. I realized this at 26 years old, that I hit my ceiling. I wasn't going to grow in that industry, and I was like, I gotta get out.
You know, what's funny is for a lot of men, especially, you don't reach your prime until like you're in your 30s. Like, you think about all the celebrities or the male like icons that the people like talk about, like once you pay your dues in like your industry, whatever it is, you're not making your most amount of money, you're not at your peak financially until like you're in your 30s. So the thing is with women, a lot of women, is like they reach like their peak, you could say, by the time like they're 24, 25. That's when they get the most attention. But as a man, you have your own crib, you maybe have your own house, you have your own business maybe, or you have the most money you'd ever have than when you were younger. So you're more appealing when you're in your 30s. That's why a lot of girls tend to date older men. But now as a man, you can date girls your age and younger. Especially, I remember those days where I was trying to holler at an older girl, and she's like, yo, you're cute, but you're too young for me. That's just how it is sometimes.
So at 28, I quit and I changed directions to try to grow in a new industry where I thought I could have maybe more potential. So again, if you're in your 30s and you're not happy, please consider changing directions now, because after 35, it becomes significantly harder to leave your job. In your 50s, you should have 4 to 6 times your annual income saved and invested somewhere. And around this age is when compound interest takes over and it starts to grow your money faster than you're able to contribute to it. So for example, if you have $500,000 invested somewhere and it's growing at just 10%, that 10% represents $50,000 per year, and most people cannot contribute 50K per year. So this phenomena starts around this age. And also the median net worth here is $124,000, while the average is $727,000. That is not accurate. The median is more accurate. And by your 60s and well into retirement, you should have 8 to 10 times your annual income saved and invested. For me, that's $500,000 invested at around 4% to generate $20,000 per year. Right now, I'm at around $7,000 per year from my portfolio, which is not quite there, but I'm well on my way. If you want to know your magic number, just take your annual spending and then multiply it by 25, and that's how much money you need invested at least 4% to support you in retirement. That's the rule of 25. It's a really cool thing. Now, I tell people to aim for a 50% savings rate, where most institutions will ask for just 15%, which is still good. But if you're watching my channel, 50% is what I want you to aim for. So set this New Year's resolution for 2020 today. I want you to go for 50. Bro fist. Wait, that's PewDiePie's thing. Smash the like button. That's every other YouTuber's thing. Chest bump. I don't know. I am wearing pants though. But before you aim for that 50% savings rate, the first thing I want you to do is at least get yourself a job that pays you no less than $50,000 per year. Otherwise, it's going to be extremely difficult. But you do not need a degree to get yourself a job that pays you $25 an hour or $50K per year. I'm living proof of that. But is our net worth really that important? Not really. What's more important is learning how to live and be happy with less money.
Facts.
You can do that. That's an extremely important skill to master in life. Focus on the biggest wins first, rather than focusing on saving first. Get that job that pays you a lot, even if you hate it, even if you can barely tolerate it, because you're going to use it as fuel to motivate you to start that side business or that YouTube channel that you always wanted to do and that I should have done while I had my job, while I had it, because that job you have right now is not going to last you for the rest of your life. Once you've got there, then focus on cutting back expenses and then use the surplus on that money to invest it or pay down your debt. If you're not sure how to invest, just invest.
Pretty much what he's saying, yo, minimize your expenses, maximize your income, and if you're at a job that you hate, that you trash all the time, use that money to fund your actual side hustle, actual business, actual like personal thing, right? If you're trying to be a rapper, if you're trying to be YouTube, don't quit your job just yet. At least use that money, save it up so that you can be self-sufficient for a couple months, like at least 6 months or so, and then go hard when you do decide to quit your job, okay? But yo, hopefully this video gave you some insight. God bless, much love, peace and joy. Namaste. Watch some of my other financial like videos in here, and also talk about addiction a lot on the channel. That's my primary focus, so give those videos a view as well. All right, God bless, much love, peace and joy. I'm gonna see y'all on the next video. As always, if it doesn't feed you, Do not water it. All facts, no cap.
I see this paper and it's wavy and then I cop that. I'm going right for the top, you better just trust that. We know the truth don't lie to us. We're rolling through so scandalous. She got the thing that I might just touch, yeah, I might.